Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main beep on undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
When you go to the Philippines, what are you going to do with your cell phone service? Are you going to get one of those international add-on plans that your phone company offers? Are you going to switch it out to another local SIM? Or could you be getting one of those airport special SIM cards that are, pretty shady and expensive? We're going to go through a lot of the options over here, and we're going to see how that works out for you, everybody. First things first, we're going to go through what most people think might be the great option according to their advertising, but we're going to go into a little bit of the details of this certain company, which is pink and white, and that company is T-Mobile. So I used to have T-Mobile. Let me explain how T-Mobile works with their international. I used to have them. You don't have to tell them that you're going anywhere or roaming or anything like that. Once you get to your international destination, your service activates and they say, hey, welcome to wherever you're at. You're going to be surfing the internet at 2G speed. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's not something that I would want to go through. But I did go through it the first time I went there. So let's go through that, and I'm going to show you exactly what they're talking about here. So we're going to head on over to T-Mobile's website. And if we look over here, I already Googled up T-Mobile international coverage. So you can do that on your own if you guys like to. And this is their website. This is where we're talking about right here. Say we're going to go to the Philippines. But this is what they talk about right here. Plans with Simple Global. So basically, this is what you already have on your existing plan. If you decide to go international traveling, unlimited text, which is great. Okay, fine, you can text home, no problem. And 2G data. Are you serious? 2G data, guys. I don't know about you, but not much you can do with 2G. Now, of course, they do charge 25 cents a minute if you're calling a US number, which is fine and understandable. I mean, you gotta understand you are traveling outside the United States, so that does make sense. It's gonna happen. Now, if you want, here's where they get you. If you wanted to activate like a international add-on, say the world-class service to each line through T-Mobile, you can do that, but you are going to pay $15 per megabyte at a higher speed. Is that worth it? In my opinion, absolutely not. You're sending a text for 50 cents, which makes no sense. Receiving deducted from your domestic texting plans allowance, which should be unlimited anyways. So you're also going to be paying 25 cents a minute. So you are automatically going to get this, but there is going to be an add-on if you wanted to get a higher speed. We're not even going to go into that. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth going into. I do want to show you the coverage that T-Mobile does have on their plan. Here we go. So if you guys know the Philippines already, everywhere that's purple, you're going to get your talking, your phone calls, which will be, of course, at 25 cents a minute. But if you notice right here on the top, where it has the little crosses, on the left part, it says 2G, and on the right, it says 3G. So you're basically only going to get 3G service when traveling through most of the Philippines. Now, of course, Metro Manila, that's fine. You get some service. When you hit some of the province areas, you're going to hit that 2G service, which is not going to be fun. You really don't want that happening while you're traveling around the Philippines, especially, yeah, like you can see right here, guys. A lot of these province areas, Roxas City is good. Most of the metro cities, you're going to be fine in the cities. That's not going to be a problem. Pretty much almost all of Cebu, you should be fine for 3G service, if that's what you want to deal with. That's fine. You know, most of Cebu, even upward, you know, up in northern Cebu, you're getting 3G service. My experience, guys, dealing with that, especially in this area in northern Cebu, was not a fun experience at all. We're going to get into other suggestions in a little bit. So that's how T-Mobile works. Don't have to do anything, don't have to pay anything extra, but you're running a risk of low speeds, not getting great data service, especially when you're checking your bank account. That's really important. You're going to want some reliability in your connections and so forth. So, with that being said, T-Mobile, yeah, nothing extra has to be paid, but the speeds they're going to be offering, I don't know, guys. Let's go over to AT&T. So this is the second company that you know most people deal with out of the big three. Stay connected at home and abroad with AT&T. So here, AT&T offers international day pass. Use your phone like you do at home with unlimited high-speed data, talk and text in over 200 destinations for $10 a day. So say if you're out in the Philippines for 2 weeks or more, you're going to be looking at 10 times 14 days. Yeah, that's not something you want to really go through, guys. And they have, of course, their little asterisk says, AT&T may slow data speeds in US or Mexico if network is busy. When added to your unlimited plan, coverage and data speed vary by country and can be changed. So, you know, you're going to look through that. Of course, view destinations. You want to see how that's going to be. Of course, they are going to have Philippines there. It is in the list. I did check this earlier, guys. Can't really see it too well here, but yeah, Philippines is listed there. They really should have made this a little bigger. But, you know, available countries, technology subject to view wireless coverage. Now here is where it was a little tricky also. I went to look at the map. They're a little tricky. So if you go to international, and you gotta scroll all the way to where the Philippines is. Let's check that out, guys. Pretty much more or less the same thing. International, so off-net voice service, that's where the map, what this map is set to right now. So you have plenty of voice service, but of course, if you're going to mountainous areas and provinces, you might have issues with that. Now, if we switch over for data, because there's two options here, voice and data. So here's data. You do also have that same options. But, like I said, guys, you will be paying $10 a day to access your data extra on top of what you're already paying on your astronomical bills. Do you really want to do that? That's something you guys got to think about. So, for those with AT&T, you really got to think about how you're going to work that out. My personal opinion, whether it really matters or not, I'm not a fan of AT&T, never have been, and I don't ever plan on using them. So, yeah. All right, next one, Verizon. Now, Verizon is known to have some of the best coverage in the United States. Now, when looking in their international coverage and plans, you're falling into where the same thing is happening with AT&T. They have travel passes for your wireless plans. Just so you, okay, so here we go. Let's look at this travel pass first. Same thing. Travel pass, $10 per line per day. And no, we don't want to do that right now. Travel Pass. Unlimited calls, unlimited text, domestic data allowance. So basically, data speeds are reduced after the first 0.5 gigabytes of daily session. Interesting, Verizon. Interesting. That's something I didn't really know that you guys did. Use your phone like you do at home with unlimited calling and texting along with 4G LTE data. They're not sugarcoating it. You're probably not going to hit 5G data going to the Philippines. That's basically very limited right now in the Philippines. They are opening that up, but only on their specific services that they have locally there. And we'll get into that as we go on. So use your phone like you do at home, of course. Unlimited calling and texting along with the data. Once added, you'll only be charged on the days you call, send text, or use data on your device. So if you don't turn on your phone, in other words, if you don't turn on your phone and don't use your data, you don't get charged the $10. It's an automatic. It's automatically put on there, by the way. I actually did that with my work phone on by accident. I turned on the phone, didn't realize. Okay, yeah, I went on the Wi-Fi, but I still got charged the $10 because when you first turn on your phone, first thing it's going to do is going to connect to the local service. So you're still going to get hit with that $10, even if you use Wi-Fi calling or whatever. You'd have to keep it on Wi-Fi constantly on Verizon's Wi-Fi calling. That's the only way. And by the way, with T-Mobile as well, and probably AT&T, if you use Wi-Fi calling, that's, in other words, you're going to connect to some local Wi-Fi signal there, whether it be in your hotel, whatever. That's pretty much the only way you can avoid roaming or any kind of roaming. Now, how reliable the hotel Wi-Fi is or wherever you might be, that's another story. So you're running a risk there. All right, and if you choose not to add Travel Pass or travel to a country that's not included, you'll be charged pay-as-you-go rates. So, not sure what the rates would be. Messaging and data, 50 cents a message. Either way, multimedia. So if you send pictures and stuff, they charge you for every little thing. Ooh, messaging and data, $2.05 each megabyte. It does not take very much to hit a megabyte, guys, so you might want to consider that. 130 country pay-as-you-go rates, $1.79 a minute. Not sure which countries they are. I don't know if the Philippines is included in that or other countries. So you might really want to check that out. Like I said, really expensive, guys. Really expensive. International travel plans. Choose travel plans to use your device as you do at home. So if you add a plan, of course you'd have to sign in. I don't have Verizon service, so let's sign in your trip. Get started. So if you want to plan your trip, what's your destinations? Going to be, of course, Philippines. Next. Let's just say we're going on the 18th. Next. Coming back on the 31st. Next. Devices, whatever. I don't even know what I have. Let's just say I have iPhone, a 5C. Oh, that's funny. Let's scroll down. Okay, XR. That seems more realistic. Say we have an XR, right? International travel plan includes 5 gigs of data, 250 minutes, 1,000-cent text, $100 monthly. So you're going to pay an extra $100 on your bill just for going 6-7 days. That doesn't make sense. You could choose the travel pass, which is $10 a day, but or you do the pay as you go. So they give you the 3 options. Either way, it's expensive, guys. It is definitely expensive. Now, this is where we get to the part where you arrive to the Philippines, and if you have an unlocked phone, you have a couple of options. Getting a local SIM and switching out. Your phone may also support having dual SIM or eSIM. So if you have an eSIM, you could actually, say if you have Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile and you have the eSIM on one of those three services, you can actually just put in the local SIM, switch back and forth on your phone, and you'd be okay with that. Now, what we want to do now is go through all the local services that you might find in the Philippines. All right, so let's start off with Globe. Globe is one of the two cell phone services that you will find in the Philippines. What we're going to want to look at as being a tourist or someone, coming in for maybe you're an expat and you're just starting out, you want to start off with prepaid. You have a couple of options. First things first, you can go and arrive in any of the international airports, go to a Globe stand and get something called a traveler SIM, which is not a bad idea. This is actually what I did the first time I went there. But the SIM is free. Of course, the SIM is free, but you have to buy the amount of data that you're going to get. So they actually now offer nowadays Travelers 5G SIM loaded with 10 gigabytes for 300 pesos. 300 pesos right now is $6. So 10 gigs for $6 is not a bad deal. That's a pretty damn good deal. Now remember, guys, you need to have your phone unlocked in order to use a local SIM, or you can bring over a separate phone that would be unlocked to use that SIM card with. Now, 10 gigs of data, unlimited all-net text, unlimited all-net calls, and free Ginsure. I'm not sure what Ginsure is. That's a new term that I've never seen before. You also have two other options. 500 pesos gives you 20 gigs of data for $10. So 500 is 500 pesos, $10 for 20 gigs. That's actually pretty damn good. Unlimited all-net text, unlimited all-net calls. When I first got this, it was only limited to Globe to Globe. So now they're doing this back and forth between both services, which is actually a lot better than what it used to be. Now remember, guys, you can only get these packages on the Traveler SIM. The third option, of course, is going to be the 1,000 peso, which is roughly about $20. Think of the Philippine pesos. 50 pesos equals about $1. Might be a little bit more now with the rates the way they are. 40 gigs of data for $20. And that's for 30 days, guys. For $20, it's very rare that you even get that here in the States. Unlimited all-net text, unlimited all-net calls. I still don't know what the hell Ginsure is, but sounds good to me. So if you have an unlocked phone, pop out your T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon SIM, and then you can stick in your Globe SIM card, and you can use one of those. Now, here's the thing with Globe. Globe, if by chance your promo, your data is done, or your 30 days or 7 day, whatever it might be, has expired, getting the different promos might be a little bit confusing once you're looking for more prepaid data. So you're gonna have to pretty much go through either Globe's website or actually try to go through their prepaid plans and see what they have available. So let's see what they have available here. Load up on your prepaid. So what they do, they call these loads, whether it be through Globe or through the other company, which is Smart. Those they call loads. That basically you're loading up your prepaid phone. And let's see if we can find some promos here. For 25 gigs, you're gonna pay 400 pesos for 15 days. Not bad. What do you get with this? Go Health. What the hell is that? I have no idea what that is. Let's see. For 50 pesos, which is about $1, You get 5 gigs of data, unlimited text to all networks, no phone calls, by the way, guys. So this is another thing you got to look at. No phone calls if you wanted to call your girlfriend's phone or your boyfriend's phone or both or whatever. You got to keep in mind you're going to have to use data like Facebook Messenger or something like that. Also, they have other plans too. You just got to really think about what is best for you. Once again, that's usually after you're done with the Traveler SIM. If you choose not to get the Traveler SIM, of course, you can pick up a SIM card from any retailer. There's tons of them, thousands all over the Philippines. I think they charge 50 pesos for the SIM card, maybe less, 25. I'm not even sure. I can't remember. So you're paying like maybe 50 cents for the SIM or $1, depending on how scrupulous they are or not. Plus the promo package or the load that you want to put on. Usually you just buy, hey, I just want to put 50 pesos of the load. Then you go on your phone after the load's done. Then you choose whatever promo you want through a text message or app, whatever it might be. All right, so you have Globe here. Like I said, if you have an unlocked phone. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have an iPhone, 99% of the time, an iPhone on Verizon, by the way, 99% of the time, those iPhones are unlocked. So that's actually something you might want to consider. So the next thing that we're going to go and look at is Smart. I also did a Google search on Smart's website for international. You will be able to get a Traveler SIM for Smart. However, I didn't do that. I actually had somebody ship me a Smart SIM card from the Philippines. Took about 2.5, almost 3 months to get here, but I didn't need it right away, so that's fine. I think he paid 25 pesos for it. And then he just mailed it to me. And it came, took a long time, but it came. So I'll explain to you how I have that set up. But same thing, they offer a Traveler SIM, but it's harder to find that information here. International call and text, friends abroad, Traveler Wi-Fi and SIMs. Here we go. So rent Wi-Fi or SIM or buy SIMs for our Traveler convenience. That's if you're traveling outside. You don't want that though. You basically want a Traveler SIM, which on their website they really don't talk about that, but I know they exist. You'll find them right next to the Globe stand, so you're not going to be able to miss it. I don't know exactly what plans they have here. I didn't get the chance to really look at it, but I'm pretty sure that they have something similar, if not the same thing. You just got to look through here and see what would be good. And if you go prepaid, our voice, our passion. Okay, prepaid. Purpose, giga promos, or load. This option here is actually to do an e-load. You can actually load it up. Get your smart SIM from retailers and all. Unlock the. This is actually wrong. It's not LTE anymore. They're actually 5G. They went to 5G also, which we're going to talk about. There's another good point of getting a local SIM card, because you will get the 5G data speeds in certain areas, such as cities. Provinces, you're probably not. You're probably going to still be on LTE. Now, as far as the promos, they're a little different. They're a little bit more ranged. It's a little bit more confusing. You have a lot of options to look at. Are you going to be sitting here watching YouTube videos while you're on vacation? Probably not. But you have a lot of options on what you might want to do. I doubt you're going to be playing video games while you're on vacation. Well, except for me, of course. I might be doing that. So you basically want to look at like your data or calls and texts, things like that. gig of video. That's something you want to look at, something that's going to have more data than calling, obviously, because you're going to want to have more access to internet and like your phone, your financial apps. Check your bank account balance, see if you have enough money for your vacation, stuff like that. Data promos here. Now, I don't know, it doesn't really list. This is what I don't like about this the Smart website. It does not list the Traveler SIM options. Let me see if we can do a Google search for smartph.com ph traveler SIM. Of course, I'm not spelling it right. Traveler SIM. All right. Tourist SIM. Here we go. Tourist SIM. So you got to kind of look for it. Here we go. Smart all-in-one Traveler SIM. Valid for 7 days. 349 pesos, which is about $7 for 4 gigs for 7 days. Compare that. We might have to go back. Let's go back a little bit to Globe's international travel. Here we go. So here you have 10 gigs for 300, but on Smart you have about 350 for 4 gigs. Here's the thing, between Globe and Smart, what I've heard from Filipinos and from what I've seen myself, talking to my fiance out in the Philippines, Globe is definitely cheaper, but Smart is more expensive and has better signal and reception. I've noticed that, especially in the provinces. Globe is more lighter on the wallet, but the signal is not as good, the service is not as good. So that's something you may want to consider. Now, it could be that might not be the case where you might be staying, depending on what province, what part of the city. That's another thing. Smart might be crap where you're at or where you're going to be, and Globe will be the best service possible. So keep that in mind as well. You really have to do your research. Talk to whoever you're going to be staying with, whether it be your girlfriend or family member, or a friend. Ask them what is the best service that you get reception on, whether it be Smart or Globe. You might end up getting a Smart SIM card, or you might get both. It is possible to get both, and I'm going to talk to you about that as well. And we'll get into what you might want to do if you don't want to use your phone, or if your phone happens to be locked, you don't want to go through the hassle of unlocking it. We're going to go through that option next, guys. All right, so here we have a site that's called SimMore or SimMore. It depends on how you want to say it. This is a company that I didn't know existed. I found out about them last year. This is a company that sells dual SIM adapters for pretty much any modern phone that's out there, whether it be Samsung, iPhone, Motorola's. They're pretty much all out there. So you got a couple of options. This box right here, called eGold's Android. This is what I actually got. I'm going to show you this right here. So I have a unlocked Samsung Galaxy S20, which is great. It's unlocked. It's only got one SIM. I have Google Fi. We're going to go through Google Fi after this. I have Google Fi for my service. So what I have at this point, I have a SIM card from Globe, and I have a SIM card from Smart. Now, the reason why I got both is because at the time, you could only make calls to each of the same service without getting charged extra. But it looks like now they've done away with that, and you have unlimited calls to everywhere, which is pretty good, depending on your promo also. That's another thing. Now, with Google Fi, My data stays exactly the same. I'll probably have LTE service, which is great. Don't have to pay anything extra. Like I said, we'll get into the details of that. But with the 2 SIM cards, one from Globe and one from Smart, it's an extra little box. I know it's it is a little pricey, but it beats carrying around 2 phones. You put those 2 SIM cards in this box. This box connects to your phone by Bluetooth, and you download an app. It comes for both Android and iPhone. I recommend the iPhone version for this. Actually, you do get the Android as well, but I like the iPhone version. And of course, once you do that, it's like having 3 SIMs. Now, keep in mind with this box, okay, you will not get anything faster than 3G. So when I go back to the Philippines, I'm going to be putting loads only for calls and texts. And those calls and texts will come in through my phone because it's going to be calling. The call is going to come through to this box. It's going to be connected by Bluetooth to my phone. And then I'll have to worry about switching out SIM cards. I can turn this off whenever I want. I'll just keep this phone on me, my phone on me if I want, things like that. Whatever I want to do. But it is a really convenient option if you don't want to carry around 2 phones. You want to carry something smaller. It's a little thick, but it's pretty much the same size as a credit card. So, I mean, it's still not bad. It's not bad. 9 millimeters. I have one here. I will show it in a little bit, and it does work. I actually have those SIM cards working right now. However, the only thing I have working on those SIM cards are incoming texts. I can't do any calls. I can't receive calls because, I'm roaming, basically, and there's no reason for me to activate that. So I do get texts if someone wants to text me, or I get texts from Globe or Smart. They do come through with this app, and the box works. So I can actually say, yeah, this stuff works. By the way, guys, none of this is promoted. This is all stuff that I have done research on my own. No one paid me to do this or to buy this stuff, so just keep that in mind. This is all research I've done on my own. So with this Eclipse Gold Android box, that's what they call it, quad band dual triple SIM. So basically the first SIM is going to be already in your phone. Does not have to be unlocked, guys. So you can take your AT&T, Verizon phone, just have text, whatever, or you can use the internet from that's another thing. You can get 3G internet from that little box. Whatever you might want to do, whatever works best for you guys. But you have a couple of options using this thing. It also works as a Wi-Fi router, that little box. But like I said, remember, it only comes out through 3G, not that fast. So keep that in mind as well. It's got all the technical specs, so you put 2 SIMs in there. Works out great. Yeah, I would definitely look into this if you do not want to unlock your phone, but you do want to have 1 or 2 more SIMs available to you. This is definitely an option. I have the website, of course, on top there if you want to check them out. They have a lot of other options too, a lot of different products. You can actually switch between SIM cards if you don't want to use that box. Say this is just examples of different Galaxies, but they go all the way up to the modern day Galaxy phones. You can have 2 extra SIMs, 3 extra SIMs. You just switch back and forth. Unfortunately, with these that you plug into your phone directly, it's manual switching, so it's not something that you can have both on at the same time. Versus with the box, you can have them all 3 at once. So you're fine with that. So definitely check this out if you guys are interested in this. For me, I think this is the best option, considering that I have Google Fi, and we'll go through Google Fi right now. Let me just bring that up. Hang on, let me just bring this up here. All right, so this is the webpage for Google Fi. This is the service that I have personally, the service that I use. Here in the States, it uses T-Mobile's towers service, basically their service. So basically you're using T-Mobile service. Now here's the thing with Google Fi that actually works out if you decide to basically be cheap and not do any traveling or anything like that. This can be actually cost effective if you're not using much data on your phone. You can actually start off with a low tier. Flexible for one is $20 a month plus $10 per gig. Now, say if you're always on Wi-Fi, that's actually a pretty good deal. This is a plan not for international, trust me. Great if you use less data or lots of Wi-Fi. This says it right there, flexible. $20 a month plus taxes, of course, which that you're gonna find that, but it's pretty damn good. If you're not using data outside or if you use Wi-Fi most of the time, that's actually pretty good. Their second option is called Simply Unlimited for one. Now, this does change when you have 2 or 3 more lines, but we're not going to really get into that. We're just going to go through what we're talking out for an individual person. Most affordable plan, if you use a lot of data, $60 a month plus taxes. So you're getting unlimited, but data slows down after 22 gigs, which is still a lot. You're not getting a lot of other options. High speed, you're not going to get tethering on this. Data only SIMs, you're not going to get. That's another option that you have with Google Fi. You get extra data SIMs that you can put into other devices. So say if I have an iPhone next to my Android, I can take both of those phones, and the iPhone that's only on the data SIM can use the data from my Google Fi service. So it uses part of that 22 gigs, which is great. You don't have to pay for an extra line. Of course, international data while traveling outside, that's not available on this middle Simply Unlimited plan. That's only if you're domestic and you're going to use a lot of data here in the States. So no international options. Affordable calls from the US to 200 destinations. So if you're calling, from the US, you're still in the US, free to Canada and Mexico. But there's rates on different countries. Unlimited text, of course, with all unlimited calls, family features. You can control if you have kids for this. It's actually pretty good. But let's go to the final one, which is what you're going to really need for your international traveling. Unlimited Plus for one. Great if you travel, tether, or use lots of data. Of course, 22 gigs, which is pretty damn good. You're going to get your unlimited data up to the 22. Once you hit 22, it's going to slow down. T-Mobile does the same crap. So, plus you're going to get 100 gigs of cloud storage with Google One, which actually can come in handy when you have a lot of pictures and videos that you want to upload to the cloud. High-speed hotspot tethering. So this actually is included along with this. You get, of course, data-only SIMs. You can get up to 4, I believe. International calling and data while traveling outside. Yes. So there you go. This is where it really counts to have this service. It's free in over 200 destinations, including the Philippines. Now, you're not going to get the 5G data, unfortunately. You may in the cities. I don't know yet because I haven't traveled out there recently. But if it does have it, I'll let you guys know. I'll post an update. International text and calls while you're traveling outside. Yes. But of course, you're going to pay, I think, 20 cents to call back to the States. Affordable calls from the US to 200 destinations. Yes. Free to over 50 destinations. Now, if you wanted to use this to call to the Philippines, you can do that as well. However, I believe they charge you like 15 cents a minute, which is not too bad. Of course, you get the unlimited calls and text, so you're definitely going to want to look at this. Now, my plan, this is how I'm doing it. I have the Unlimited Plus on my Google Fi service on my Samsung Galaxy. So that covers my data, that covers my phone service being out there. Now for the Globe and Smart SIMs, what I did is I purchased that Seymour box and I put both of them in that box, and now I have an added 2 Philippines number. One is Globe, one is Smart. And in case I do need it, and someone wants to text me while I'm out there, who lives in the Philippines, I do have friends out there, some soon to be family as well. They can text me to one of those numbers. So actually, that helps out as well. And that's pretty much it. That's your best options, guys. Me personally, my best suggestion: look into Google Fi. I'm gonna put a referral link, of course. You know, I gotta stick that in there as well. But once you do that, I mean, this will keep active for 6 months outside the US. If you plan on staying more than that, they'll probably cut you off. They'll deactivate the SIM. So after that, you might want to consider, looking into other options. But if you're out there for a month, maybe 2, or just traveling for a couple of weeks, this is great. Or if you go back and forth, great option as well. Even to have at home is pretty damn good. So, like I said, Unlimited Plus, that's what I have. That's my best option, plus the 2 SIMs. And that's pretty much it, guys. I would suggest looking into this for yourself. Decide which is best for you. You may not want to go the Google Fi route. You may want to stick with T-Mobile, stick with Verizon. Maybe if you have an unlocked phone, you'll take out the SIM cards and put in the local SIMs, however you want to do it. But do your research and see which is better in the area that you're going to be in. If you're going to be in the province, you're going to be in the city. Most likely in the cities, Globe or Smart will be almost the same thing. But like I said, do your research and see how that's going to be. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me with this video. Hopefully, it won't be too long until the next one comes around, and I'll see you then. All right, guys. Take care.